Hi, I'm Avery,
And I'm Lily.
and I am recording this episode with my laptop backwards. But anyway, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
No.
Well, good, because I actually don't work at Good Burger. This is the From the Closet podcast, and today we're covering the fuck, I actually don't remember what year it was. Maybe like 1999 or 1997.
You should have asked when
Anyway,
I had the Voodoo page open.
it doesn't matter. You'll see it in the description.
1997.
Yeah. Okay, we're covering the movie Good Burger, which is a Nickelodeon movie. Who knows how many Nickelodeon movies we'll cover, because we certainly won't cover all of them, especially since all of them aren't available anywhere. There's one movie I can think of that's not available anywhere. Not even physically.
I just who knows, we might cover them all. What, there's like 5?
No, there's a bunch. There's way too many Nickelodeon movies.
Really? Weird.
Yeah. So this is a comedy. It has Kenan Thompson in it, which is interesting. Oddly, I only know Kenan Thompson from that one episode of Victorious / iCarly because it was a crossover episode.
Crossover events, yay!
Yeah. Anyway, this is a comedy. Not the first comedy we've covered, because But I'm a Cheerleader counts as a comedy. And oh yeah, I didn't mention this, but it's our free movie of the month for January 2022. I almost said 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode was delayed, and then the recording was delayed even further, but you guys won't be affected by that. Only we're affected by it.
And of course, we, or at least I said, and Avery said, it could always change. Yeah, this episode was totally supposed to be Back to the Future Part 3.
Yeah, because, but unfortunately, Back to the Future Part 3 is no longer available for free, so we spent some time looking around at different movies that were available for free, and we picked Good Burger. Okay, so this movie, obviously spoilers ahead, and there's a link below where you can purchase the movie if you want, but it's also free on YouTube Movies at the moment. But yeah, so this movie kind of starts with Ed having a weird dream.
The burgers want him. They want him all to himself.
Yeah, and then he wakes up and he's like, whoa, a clock. Then he proceeds to shower with his clothes on, hop on some rollerblades, which he really should not be allowed to be on. And meanwhile, a kid is taking a test, and then the bell rings. He's taking a test on the last day of school, which is something that would have never flown at my school, because there were plenty of people who left before the last day.
I mean, isn't high school literally the last day finals?
No, not at my school it wasn't.
Really? My school actually is. Last day,
well, see,
finals.
The problem is with, at my school, a lot of the students would not live, the school would be nowhere near any of their homes, and people would be coming from hours and hours away just to pick up their kids. So it was usually finals were the week before, and the last 2, 3, sometimes 4 days were just kind of chill. And also, my senior year, the seniors were actually not allowed to come to school on the last day. Our last day was graduation day, which happened to be the day before the last day for everybody else.
Weird, but okay.
Yeah, it was strange. But anyway, back to Good Burger. So this kid gets out of school, and he hops in his mom's car, which he's not supposed to be driving, Number one, she doesn't allow him to. Number two, he's 15 and doesn't have a license. And that's assuming this takes place in America.
Probably is.
Yeah.
It is Nickelodeon. And
but
then he runs directly into his teacher.
Well, hold on. So Ed, skates right into the path of oncoming traffic because he's a moron. And then this kid swerves, crashes into his teacher's car. The teacher flat out assaults the kid. And I'm sorry, throughout this entire movie, they want me to feel bad for this teacher. I don't. He assaulted a minor.
Actually, I thought throughout the movie you're supposed to be laughing at him. With all the bad things that are happening to this one teacher, we're supposed to be like, haha, deserved it.
And also, when the crash happened, he's like, oh, you messed up my afro. Like, bitch, your afro looks exactly the same.
I think he's trying to do some insurance fraud.
So, yeah, kid gets a summer job. I don't even remember his name. I do remember Ed. I remember Monique, the girl he was interested in, who's honestly one of the most entertaining characters in the movie.
Though the kid goes to work at Mondo Burger first and fails.
Yeah, and fails. And also this fast food restaurant for some reason has security.
Well, probably because they're, spoiler, dealing in illegal substances.
Yeah. They're using an illegal food additive, we should say. To make their burgers.
It might be addictive.
To make their burgers bigger. So, anyway, he ends up working at Good Burger instead. And essentially, Mondo Burger opens, and their opening drains so much power that Good Burger loses power, and they're also losing all their customers. And then we get this whole ordeal with Ed's mysterious sauce that has lemon juice in it, and I don't remember what else.
There's definitely a lot of pickles.
Yes, because he just flat out dumped like half a jar in there. But yeah, so the sauce reinvigorates Good Burger and gets a lot of people coming back to Good Burger.
You know what's actually thought about that? It's the scene of where, this good sauce, we're going to be back in business, and everyone wants our tiny burgers because of the sauce. And then it's like, no, we'll never give out the sauce to anyone ever. And the first thought in my mind was, oh, it's Burgerville.
And it's also super illegal because you have to disclose ingredients.
Well, they're disclosing ingredients obviously, but they don't sell that stupid sauce.
Yeah, but it's in the movie they're not even disclosing the ingredients, which is not legal. But then also there's a lot of other unrealistic things in the movie as well. Like the idea that everybody's going over to this one fast food place across the street and nobody's getting fed up with the wait time and going over to Good Burger instead. Really?
Or how the opposite isn't happening when the secret sauce is coming out.
Yeah, exactly. So, our main character who decides to basically take advantage of Ed's stupidity and makes him sign a contract that, he has to fork over 80% of his money to our main character. And he's just totally chill with it.
Because he's dumb.
Yeah, and then there's this whole thing where Mondo Burger hires Roxanne to try to get the sauce recipe out of Ed. Doesn't work.
Almost dies.
Yeah, she almost dies, breaks her arm, injures her head and everything. She ends up quitting Mondo Burger. Meanwhile, main character is going on a date with Monique, who is very interesting. Um,
Probably the
gives her
most sane
his
character.
gives her his jacket at the end of the day and forgets to take it back. And I was like, as soon as I saw that jacket, I was like, the contract's in there. Turns out it was, which is pretty fucking stupid. Why wouldn't you leave that at home? Um, Also, I do want to switch gears and go back a little bit.
Yeah,
Right
we
when
have
the
been
sauce,
rushing this movie.
right when the sauce is like introduced and everybody's going insane, we have this blonde girl who shows up and is like, Ed, this sauce is amazing. What do you put in that sauce? And like she's a worker at Good Burger. That was the most terrible acting I have seen in a while. That blonde girl, I don't know if she's in anything else. But I know here, I don't think she did a good job. Personally. That was not very good acting. I liked the 77-year-old man that was working there, though, and doing fries.
Should have died.
I should have died years ago.
Honestly, he sounds like that old person from Gravity Falls.
Old Man McGucket?
No, the mayor.
Oh, I don't remember the mayor.
Yeah, I think
And
in
it's
one of his lines, like, "Death, is that you?"
and it's funny because we're covering the first season of Gravity Falls 2 weeks from now, but for us, we've already done that episode. We recorded it, and it hasn't released yet.
The power of recording early.
Yeah, but anyway, um, so yeah, Monique and main character kind of break up and stuff, and then Mondo Burger tries to break into Good Burger and poison the sauce with shark poison.
That's
But
not before.
Otis is sleeping there for some reason, and so they ship him off to Demented Hills, I believe is the name of the mental hospital.
Yeah, he also brought the part where the
Yeah,
other two main characters got.
yeah, I was about to say that. Like they sort of had already shipped off Ed and our main character there earlier when they broke into the kitchen and discovered the illegal food additive.
How they can just send people to mental hospitals, I'll never know.
And then, like, of course, they got the urge to break into the kitchen when they were sitting outside and discovered that a dog would not eat the Mondo burger, but would eat the Good Burger.
That's because it's a good burger. Home of the good
Yeah,
burgers.
but yeah, and like also there was another thing too where like the dog was barking and Ed was started talking about clowns and everything and like how their car was broken down and I was like, yeah, this is gonna end up being true. And it turns out it was, except there wasn't 4 clowns, there were 5.
Must have been a mistranslation. Dog to human.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so they end up in this mental hospital, which is kind of a very weird part of the movie. Um, a girl who broke into a zoo and freed all the kangaroos starts like crushing on Ed. And, for a bit, I thought they were going to take her with them when they escaped.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. But yeah, Ed starts a dance party and they end up escaping because of it. Um, and, classic Ed, there's already a window broken he can jump through. So instead, he jumps through a window that wasn't already broken.
And here I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
No.
At
So
least the
yeah,
movie didn't.
they're trying to rush back to Good Burger because nobody knows that nobody else knows that the sauce has been poisoned. So they steal an ice cream truck and drive back to Good Burger, where Ed tackles an old lady who, of course, ordered extra sauce because we need the extra tension, I guess.
Well, for my Burgerville burgers, I would always order extra sauce. I don't, but I'm gonna start doing it now.
I actually don't know what Burgerville is. Is that like a regional chain?
Yeah, it's I'll search it up after the podcast, but it's like a burger, like think about like McDonald's. It's fast food basically.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I've never really liked McDonald's.
It's not
Um,
like I couldn't think of the word fast food.
but yeah, McDonald's is like a bottom tier fast food,
No, it's actually
honestly.
really good. The only problem is a bit pricey for how much food they give you. Just a
No,
little bit.
McDonald's is really cheap.
Still talking about Burgerville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like McDonald's is probably one of the cheapest places to go to. Like if I'm just wanting a soda, I'm probably gonna go to McDonald's because they only charge $1.
Yeah. Though, I actually didn't think about it beforehand, but Burgerville might just be a West thing.
Yeah, I mean, so for those of you who don't know, I live in the American Southeast and Lily lives on the West Coast. So, you
Going to your
know,
next point, I really need to search this up now.
but yeah, like where were we? Oh yeah. He tackle it basically he gets it, the main character and Ed proceed to break back into Mondo Burger through the power of parkour.
Parkour.
Yeah, it doesn't count as parkour unless you say it. But yeah, so their goal is to steal some of that food additive, but they don't really succeed because Ed's an idiot. And instead, Ed decides, you know what? I'm gonna pour all of this stuff in the meat supply so that everything blows up.
Which it works.
Yeah, it works. Surprisingly, Ed and the main character survive. Um, and teacher guy pulls into the parking lot and just acts completely oblivious to all the people running and screaming, and the burger ornament that was on top of the restaurant falls onto his car, and he's like whining and complaining, and like they want me to feel bad for him, but he assaulted a minor, so I don't care. um
I'll be honest, in this scene, they don't want to make that. They're panning out him as the bad guy because of how the main character is like, here's some money. Anyway, bye. See you with that car. Like, that was supposed to be the victory for the main character.
I don't know, it didn't feel that way to me because Kurt really felt like the only antagonist in this movie.
I mean,
Like,
the teacher
I just
guy really did just like, you're paying through all my car forever.
I don't know, it didn't feel like that to me. Also, let me talk about this character whining and complaining about getting a summer job. Let me tell you, as a kid, I would rather have had a summer job than just doing the same fucking thing every single day, just lying on a lawn chair. I mean, that life that he was planning out sounded boring. If I get a summer job, I have money throughout the school year,
Though, not
and I can
him.
actually, yeah, and I can actually do shit with money. Meanwhile, he gonna be broke.
He's still broke, in debt.
Yeah, so it's like I would rather take the summer job, honestly.
I don't think he would take the summer job at Good Burger. That is,
Probably not at Good Burger, but like there are plenty of office jobs that you can get at 16.
That's true. Just, okay, I would not want to work at Good Burger.
You could work at a library or something. I don't know. I mean, I don't recommend working fast food or retail because those are just terrible jobs to have.
Especially
Um,
not Good Burger. Those employees are insane.
yeah, all of them. Except Monique. Monique is sane.
That's the straight person.
Well, yes, she is straight.
Avery, I'm going to strangle you through this phone connection.
But yeah, I really don't know how to describe Ed here. Ed is like a weird anomaly to me. Cause like his vibes don't give me like autism, but he's something. I don't know what he is, but he's something.
Almost like purposely dumb. Like ignorant on purpose.
Also, I love that the movie touched on the fact that, you know, the legal system is clogged up and it would take them months to convict them of anything.
So that's why we just destroy our problems instead.
Yeah.
To quote the series how we were supposed to do today, the legal system moves swiftly now that we abolished our lawyers.
Yeah, because that would totally work.
How do you mean? That's definitely a foolproof plan without any sort of backfire at all. Anyway, I want to, because we're actually pretty short on the podcast, but also, just to add, what the hell? How are people liking Ed's sauce? It's like just pouring an entire, pickle jar into it, some lemon juice.
Yeah, I'm very curious as well. Because I actually, okay, so there's a streamer I watch a lot, and it's kind of become a meme in her community that she doesn't like pickles.
I love pickles, but that's not the point.
Yeah, and like I wonder like how she would feel about this type of sauce.
Probably not good.
Yeah, and I can't imagine a sauce taking all the customers away from another fast food restaurant. And like two fast food restaurants being apart the street from each other is like an incredibly common thing, and it doesn't ever lead to either of them going out of business. At least in my experience.
But this is Mondo Burger, and let's be honest, a business that can put the other business out of power maybe it's a threat to put out business.
And you know, it's weird to see like the people were so like fucking hyped for the opening of a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, that is a bit strange. Though, you have to admit, there was a lot of lights. What are people, moths nowadays?
And they had like live music and everything as well. And I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
So, we're actually not, we don't have that much more to talk about, and we're not that long. So, to beef up the episode, I found Ed's sauce inspired by the movie Good Burger recipe.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
Sorry, this is a recipe, so it has to go through the entire person's backstory.
No, I would not like to go through the entire personal backstory. I would just
No.
like the ingredients and the instructions, please.
Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Oh my god, where's the... Do you not have, the... Okay,
It
they're just showing... There's actually not a ingredients list. This is a terrible recipe.
Yeah. Is
Oh
it
wait,
too
here it
much
is, here it
the
is.
okay, but like before we get into that, is it too much to ask that when you look up a recipe, it's just like There's none of this article bullshit, and it's just the list of ingredients and the instructions. Like, that's all anyone cares about. All this other stuff is just fluff.
Okay.
It's the same with these articles that are like, oh, release date, cast, and more. And I'm like, they spend like 50 years telling you a bunch of random crap that you already know.
So, half a cup of mayo must be real mayo. 2 tablespoons of Thousand Island dressing. 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. 1 tablespoon of sweet pickle relish. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. 2 lemon juice. That's actually, it just says 2 lemon juice.
Oh, yes, 2 lemon juice. What measurement? I don't know. Gallon?
1 teaspoon vinegar, a half a teaspoon of sugar, a fourth teaspoon of salt, and an eighth of a teaspoon of pepper.
An eighth of a teaspoon of what? I didn't catch that.
Pepper.
Okay.
This sounds like his sauce if it was good.
It sounds like his sauce is if it was made to actually be a good sauce, and like realistically.
I want to see if I can actually find like what sauce recipe. Okay, maybe I should just search up his sauce.
Yeah,
Good burger sauce. I get an ad for best foods.
Wow.
I love that.
Yeah, the internet is just so great. Chef's kiss, honestly. I am totally not being sarcastic.
I think you're being sarcastic.
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, so this movie is this movie is kind of bad, honestly. Kind of bad. But not like terrible.
How I would describe this movie, it's not like you can clearly see that there's hundreds of thousands of better movies, but it's not, the badness doesn't hinder it. It kind of makes it better because you can laugh at how bad it is.
Yeah, and then like on top of that, it does have some merits for being a comedy that doesn't just use like sex jokes for its comedy.
Well, yeah, it's made by Nickelodeon. Jesus.
That literally does not matter. Nickelodeon made a movie that is just incredibly adult, and I hated it.
What is that?
Fun sized.
Ugh, that just does not even sound like a good movie.
It was horrible.
Yeah, and this is the movie we're not going to be covering. Good to know.
Probably.
Probably not, or probably will.
No, like we will probably not cover it.
Okay.
Because I have no desire to go out of my way to cover it, but I'm also not opposed to covering it.
You just do not want to go out of your way to watch that ever again.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, my school took us to see it.
Ugh.
Yeah.
How many of your classmates actually liked it?
I don't think any one of them.
Did the teachers regret their decisions?
Probably. But yeah, thinking about Nickelodeon movies, are the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies Nickelodeon movies?
That's a good question.
Because, like, I feel like at least 2 of those were actually good.
At least 2. Oh, God. I searched up Alvin and the Chipmunks and Google says it's not a movie, it's actually a band.
God, Google.
Um, who made Alvin and the Chipmunks? Okay, that's a name. Okay, who owned? Why didn't I search of that?
I mean, just search up the movie and look on the Wikipedia page for what studio did it. It's not that hard.
Okay, fine. Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. Alvin and the Chipmunks in film. Jesus.
Come on, you can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, you want to hear the Wikipedia? Alvin and the Chipmunks is a 2007 live-action computer-animated musical comedy film directed by Tim Hill based on the
There's literally
characters.
a giant section where like it talks about release dates in different countries. It's like a giant thing underneath the opening paragraph, and somewhere in there it
Oh,
should tell you this.
20th century. Oh my god. 20th Century Fox.
Would have been a lot easier to just say Fox.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not think Fox made this.
I honestly didn't remember, but like
Wait,
my experience with Alvin and the Chipmunks is what was like. I thought the first movie was okay. The Squeakquel, I think, was the best one, and then I fucking hated Chipwrecked, and I don't know if there were any more.
I think there are more. But you know what I just realized now? Disney
What?
owns Alvin and the Chipmunks now.
Yes, they do, because they own Fox now.
God, I've seen like because they have a show on Nickelodeon. God, it's awful.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. I didn't watch it.
I
Like,
didn't want to watch it.
mm-mm. Yeah,
I didn't
no
want to.
thanks. That was the reason I was thinking that it was Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's what I
Was
was thinking
because of the
too.
TV show.
I mean, you also have like the Kung Fu Panda show. Why
Okay,
does Nickelodeon get all of the movie TV shows where they go to die?
I don't know, but yeah, like Kung Fu Panda, that was DreamWorks, and interestingly, it's on our movie wheel, which we will not be spinning today because it's a free movie of the month.
And we will be probably not be covering the TV show at all.
We won't. We absolutely will not.
We'll have to be getting very bored in 10 years to even consider it.
But yeah, I mean, you know what? Now that we're over 30 minutes, which I feel like is, a good minimum, why don't we go ahead and get into rating Good Burger? Because we kind of went off on a bunch of tangents. Just to kind of. Honestly, I'll admit it, we were padding the runtime.
But you can't not admit that you want to know an adaptation of that sauce.
I kind of did, but at the same time, not that much.
I don't know. If I make it, I'll report it back to the podcast.
And like, just another thing I do want to say, I did really enjoy the character that was in Demented Hills. That was like the girl who freed all the kangaroos. She was pretty entertaining, and like I said, I thought they were going to take her with them when they escaped, but they didn't. I
Who
actually don't know if
freed all the kangaroos.
Yes, free all the kangaroos.
Why don't you give your rating first?
Okay, so as you know, I usually I pick my rating before we start the podcast most of the time. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sticking to my rating. I'm giving this movie a 4.8.
Okay. I guess you already discussed the rating. You know what? I'm thinking about 5, right on it.
Just a solid 5.0.
Just
All
do the solid 5.
right. Fair
I
enough. I definitely, like, personally for me, I felt like this movie was below average, which is why I gave it a 4.8.
Honestly, like if this podcast was actually a pendulum, so we have like where we could go into the negatives, I honestly think this movie would be a negative number because it's bad, but also it's good.
Yeah, it's like
Like
uh,
it would be a high negative number, I'll tell you that.
yeah, like a bad movie is better than a boring movie. And I forget what channel it was that, created that scoring system and that quote.
Hmm.
Someone can probably tell us, but they probably won't because this podcast doesn't get any views.
Though I will say, and yeah, I will gladly watch Good Burger any day of the week over Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, honestly. Like The Incredible Hulk was boring. And
This
I've
was
watched
entertaining.
Yeah, and I've watched it several times because I've done several things where I watched through the entire MCU.
Poor
But
soul.
but it's by far probably the most boring MCU movie. Speaking of MCU, our next recording after this episode is going to be on Iron Man 2, but you guys won't see that episode for a while.
Yes, I really do need a refresh on Iron Man 2. Even though
But
I did
yeah,
watch it. But
but yeah,
that's like another day's problem. Maybe even tomorrow. Do you think we can record tomorrow?
I think we can record tomorrow. Well,
Cool.
no,
Oh,
actually, let's record on Tuesday.
okay.
Because I want to get all the work that has to be done for this episode out of the way first before we even think about starting on the work for the next episode.
Well, I think there's only one thing that can wrap up this episode. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
No, you may not. I've been Avery, and that's been Lily, and we will see you next time.